Welcome everyone, Christine here with a quick discussion about Stronghold Definitive Edition, which has just come out today, and it's a remastered version of this classic game at a fairly reasonable price. And it is a game that I've been very much looking forward to as someone who has spent many hours playing Stronghold and Stronghold Crusader 1. I haven't cared much for any of the other games that Firefly has developed over the years, because they have tried making a bunch of sequels to these two games, and I never thought that any of them were really that great. Anyway, we now have Stronghold Definitive Edition, but there are certain issues that do come up with this game. A really nasty problem is one that quite a few people, including myself, have encountered when trying to run this game. I didn't encounter this issue when trying to run the demo of the game, no problems there, but in trying to run the full version, when I initially started it, what would happen is that I would get a black screen. Like, basically, the only things I would have showing up on screen would be the Stronghold Definitive Edition logo over here in the upper left part, as well as the game prompting me to select my name over here, which I have done. By the way, if you're playing this game, one of the things you might want to do is go select your scribe over here. I'm going to go with the classic scribe because, yeah, classic scribe is really the way to go from my perspective. Regardless of that, how did I fix that? Well, as I kind of figured it out, because this is not the first time, this is not the first game where I've encountered an issue with this. I went to my NVIDIA control panel and I disabled VSync. So I generally use fast sync across the board in every game I play, and very rarely do I encounter any issues with using fast sync. But there have been a couple of examples over the years where I have encountered this kind of issue or some other issues caused by fast sync. So that seems to be the solution to that. Though there are people with AMD GPUs that are encountering the same problems, and they have no solution to this particular issue. And that's just one bug that people have reported. There are other bugs that people apparently encountered in the demo, and many of them haven't been fixed by Firefly. It is pretty frustrating to wait for a game like this to be released and then you can't run it, or you have issues getting it to start. Now, other issues that I have personally encountered, the only other issue that I encountered was trying to use Reshade in this game. Like, if you're like me, you use something like Reshade. Well, first off, NVIDIA game filter, which is generally the method that I use in games to make them look, to increase the clarity, NVIDIA game filter does not work in this game. Okay, so I tried using Reshade. That works, except it causes a separate issue. So if you're trying to get this game to run with Reshade, you're probably going to be stuck having being forced not to use, at least for the sake of the campaign. So for the main campaign, for the dual campaign, it's not going to work to use Reshade, because the problem is, like, what ends up happening if you're using Reshade is the following.
As soon as the king had
the audio that you just heard playing there will not play. None of the audios. The talking heads will not work. None of the dialogue,
we need you
even
to
in mission
the setting
dialogue,
up
will not play.
Now I encountered
like unit and scribe.
Place a keep to cite your castle.
Scribe audio will play. That
Cite
isn't an issue, but the issue is the fact that you just don't get you don't get the story dialogue to play out, and that is particularly relevant because there are certainly events that play out cinematic, so you will not have those playing if you're trying to use something like Reshade in this title. That is one downside, a fairly major downside actually in quite a few ways, and it is a bit of a shame. It is weird, and it does show some of the issues they've had. Now, what's weird to me is I encountered this exact same issue in the demo, but I was not using game filter or Reshade in the demo. Like, I only got Reshade installed on my computer very recently.
Animal tracks have been reported in the area, sire.
I only got Reshade installed on my computer very recently for the sake of RoboCop Rogue City. And So I was clearly not using a game filter, didn't work there at either. So it is a bit weird that I didn't get the dialogue working there. Maybe it just wasn't present in the demo because it was not finished. I don't know what to tell you. Or maybe they had a bug in the demo overall. Like I've seen other videos with regards to the demo where they had an issue with the voice lines not working for the game. And it seems like they've improved that situation where it now works, though who knows when it's gonna start crashing and what other problems are going to come up. So my point is, there are problems right now in Definitive Edition, and while the developers have taken note of them and likely will fix them over the next couple of days, right now the game is a buggy mess. I think it's very much worth playing. I think it is going to be a fun game, but it's certainly going to ruin the middle, right? Because you do have this extra campaign, or rather 2 campaigns in one, with the Jewel campaign, and then you have this Castle Trail, so it is very likely a game that's going to be worth playing. Just be aware that right now, it's not in the greatest state. Kostin signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications. Stay tuned for more.